RUROUNI Kenshin Season 2, Episode 19. I don't even know what to say, man. That last minute of the episode just blew my mind. As a longtime Kenshin fan, I gotta say that it was pretty great to see myself getting hyped up at an episode. I mean, these episodes have all been fun to watch, but knowing the story and knowing the Kyoto arc, very well from back in the day, there's very little elements of surprise, even with the added scenes and the extra moments that the new anime has put in so far. None of them have really made me go, like, out of my mind. But this scene, this moment, what does this mean? What are the implications? Are we going to have the Kenshin versus Aoshi fight now? Or is it just going to be, it'll probably just be a small fight and the real fight will come later, but I feel like anything's on the table now. Like, honestly, like, I don't know exactly what they could do with this. In the original manga and the original anime, Aoshi is not on board this ship. So seeing him step up to the plate here and basically begin his confrontation with Kenshin, your guess is as good as mine as far as where this is going to go. Now, what's interesting about this, too, is way back when I didn't know exactly how far the Kyoto arc was going to go in Season 2, and I was kind of speculating where I thought they might end it, one of my early speculations was like, maybe they'll get as far as the Kenshin versus Aoshi fight. And this was way back, like, early, the beginning of Season 2, where we had 23 episodes in total, and I just sort of, like, calculated in my head based upon the number of episodes from the 90s version. It's like, man, if they space this out right, we might get Kenshin versus Aoshi at like the end of the season. And then once I started seeing how they were adding new material and telling some more backstory and fleshing out the story a little bit more, I was like, there's no way they're going to get to Kenshin versus Aoshi. It's too far down the line. But now? Anyways, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. I should probably talk about the whole episode, but that's the moment. Like, that is just the thing that is going to drive me crazy for the next week until the next episode comes out because, we are not supposed to get Kenshin versus Aoshi yet following the manga, but who knows what we're going to get in the anime now. But you know what? Honestly, to me, it's exciting. I know that there's probably people out there that just want, it to follow the manga exactly and don't add any new material. But so far, minus the last episode before this one, I've liked all of the new stuff that we've got. The last episode was the only one where I was like, I don't know how I'm feeling about it. But up until then, I've liked it all. And so going this far into the season, 19 episodes, I'm going to trust the anime staff and how they're telling the story to give us something good. I think at this point, because I do believe Season 2 is a massive step up from Season 1, I've liked, 90% of the new material. At this point, the new anime has earned my trust. And so I'm going to give them the sword, I'm going to hand over the Sakabato, and see what they cook up in the next couple episodes, because we only got 4 left. Anyways, we are dealing with the Kyoto Fire segment of the arc right now, and there's a lot of different moving pieces on the board. We have the police force that is well aware that Shishio's henchmen are planning to set fire to Kyoto. Unbeknownst to Shishio's henchmen and even the Jupongatana, Shishio was really planning this to be a major distraction so that he can get aboard his warship and travel to Tokyo. And in the last episode, we saw the warship. We saw that it was called, the Rengoku or the Purgatory. But, it looked like a big wooden ship. But that was just the secret, right? That was the cover on the outside. In this episode, once Kenshin, Saito, and Sanosuke arrive, Shishio's like, well, let's give them a show. Let's show them what this is all about. They blast off the wooden exterior, kind of hiding the real iron battleship underneath. And so this is what Shishio has spent his entire fortune on, to have this massive ship to go lay waste to Tokyo. And you might be thinking, who sold him the ship? Who would sell this crazy burned up swordsman maniac this giant battleship? Well, that might be answered sometime in the future, but not today. Today, we got to focus on the Kyoto Fire. So, yes, that is going on in one area of Kyoto, and then in the other, we have a little bit more expansion once again on Shishio's henchmen, kind of feeling a little bit of reservation about setting fire to the entire town, but starting to go along with it anyway. But for the most part, the police seem to have this handled. They're stopping people, they're arresting them, and the fires are not going. And so this is what causes the Jupongatana on top of the mountain, kind of looking down, noticing there's no fires, like, well, I guess we got to go down there and do something. Also added to that, There was a moment in the last episode where the two ninja women from the Oniwaban came across a wombo, and that was another thing that I was like, well, that's a pretty big change from the manga. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Pretty much nothing is the answer. They manage to escape. They do attack, and you get the first instance of why Owambo is even on the team, despite being so stupid, is that he's pretty much impenetrable because he's so damn fast. This is true. You ever try to punch a power lifter in the gut? You know, the people that do nothing but squats and deadlifts all day? You can't hurt them, man. They're just too much mass. Like, they're not going to be able to do anything. So that's where Owambo fits in. Anyways, they do manage to escape, and I love the dynamic between the group here, and I like more scenes of the Juppangatan too. It makes them feel, even though they're not really friends, you know, it's not like the Phantom Troop from Hunter x Hunter or something where the group of villains is like all so tight-knit. Like, these characters are pretty much all just here for a means to an end. But I do like how they work together regardless, except for, of course, Usui and Anji. There's definitely tension brewing there, where Anji, he wants to overthrow the government, but he doesn't really want to hurt innocent people, right? Whereas Usui, this guy's just a maniac and he doesn't give a shit. So, you know, they are butting heads. And there's a scene that was not shown in this episode that I won't spoil, but it lends a little bit further to that. And I thought we were going to get that scene in this episode, but we wound up not getting it. And there's a really good moment for Sanosuke where, you know, Shishio looks out through the telescope and he's like, yeah, Kenshin's here, I know him. Saito's here, I know him. Then he sees Sanosuke and he's like, I have no idea who this guy is. Like, who the hell is this guy? And then everyone else on the ship is like, yeah, he's a nobody. He's, I don't know, some, you know, punk from Tokyo. Like, dude, I don't know why he's here. I think he's just Kenshin's friend. So Shishio plays no regard to this guy. You know, he doesn't know him from the revolution, the war, or anything. He doesn't know anything about him. So he's like, you know, he doesn't even have a sword on him. So he's just like, this guy's nothing, right? So then Sanosuke has his moment, right? Where his training paid off. All those days of punching rocks, right? Where Kenshin and Saito are able to get up on the ship, and then they were going to distract them while Sanosuke sneaks around and uses the bombs. The ones that he got from Katsu before he left Tokyo. So, you know, he's heading to the ship, and they start firing the Gatling gun at Sanosuke. And, you know, we've, seen the devastation of the Gatling gun in this show before, but also, this is Sanosuke's moment, man. Now, this anime, it didn't show it, I think, as clearly as the 90s one did, where he uses the Futai no Kiwami on the boards beneath him, and it splashes the boards and the water up in front of him, and kind of slows the impact of the bullets, or at least that's kind of like what I get from it. So, yeah, his training paid off, and he was able to show everybody on the ship that he's not just a nobody, and he actually does deserve his place on this team. So that was a great little moment there. Now, as far as the stuff that I know from the past is that there's a brief confrontation on the ship with Kenshin and Saito and, you know, Shishio up there watching, but then showing Aoshi come out of nowhere and start to attack Kenshin. Again, that moment just blew my mind. I was not expecting it. And to be honest, like, it's kind of exciting. Like, you know, the thing for me is like, you know, yes, I don't want them to stray so far away from the manga that it becomes a different series. You know, I still want them to hit all the same beats, all the same emotional moments. But being, you know, as familiar with the series from the 90s anime and the manga, I think just as a fan, it's exciting to see things play out a little bit differently. Like, to actually look at it as a different adaptation. And as I stated earlier, I feel like the new anime has earned my trust enough to give it a shot. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to like what they end up doing with this scene. You know, it might turn out to really turn me off, you know. But as of this moment, with just the potential of what could happen, I'm going to let it play out and see what happens and hopefully enjoy it. So, yeah, really good episode, you guys. We have more of the Kyoto Fire stuff going to happen here. We have more stuff to happen on the Purgatory, and we got 4 episodes left. So let's hope they end with a bang. Pun completely intended. Anyways, guys, if you saw this episode, let me know what you think about it down below. Leave your thoughts, theories, opinions. If you're a longtime Kenshin watcher, did the Aoshi moment have the same effect on you, or did you not like it at all? And if you're a new Kenshin watcher, just I hope that you're hyped for what's about to come. Because whether we get the full fight or just a piece of it, I think it's going to be pretty great. So thanks for watching, guys. Please give a like, comment on this video as well. And if you want to support the channel on a deeper level, I do have Patreon channel memberships. All the super thanks always help me out as well. Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, take care. I'll see you next week.